So now I am going to discuss the solutions of the questions from 40 to 70, questions numbering from 40 to 70 in the assignment in kinematics up to vertical projection. I have already shown you the questions on the screen in the previous class. I have even given you the answers. So now I am going to discuss these questions one by one. In case you, there may be some exceptional students who might have done answered all the questions or most of the questions correctly. So in that case, they can skip this class. They can directly go to the next class. So, and there may be some students who are unable to solve most of the questions which I have shown on the screen in the previous class. So they should not get discouraged. They need not get discouraged. They can go through the solutions, which I am going to start now. After they completely go through the solutions of all the questions, they can go back to the previous class. They can go through the questions one after another without the solutions. They can try to work out themselves in the second stroke. Then they will be able to learn and improve to the required level. Come on, look at the question number 40. What is projected vertically upwards with initial velocity of 20 meter per second? G equal 10 meter per second square. Then the average speed of the body during the first 3 seconds after projection is. Let A be the point of projection. Let B be the highest point at which velocity becomes zero. Time of ascent or time taken to reach the highest point. That is time of motion from A to B is U by G. That will be 20 by 10 seconds or 2 seconds. That means in 2 seconds after projection reaches the highest point B. Let P be the position of the body at T equal to 3 seconds after projection. That means at T equal to 3 seconds after projection, it will be moving downwards. In 2 seconds after projection, it reaches the highest point B. Then at T equal to 3 seconds, it will be passing through the point P in the downward direction. Therefore, distance covered in 3 seconds is equal to distance from A to B, that is the maximum height, plus distance through which it falls from B to P. So displacement of the body at T equal to 3 seconds can be found by using the equation S equal to ut plus half at square. So in vertical projection, you can take A equal to minus G here. So S equal to ut minus half gt square. The initial velocity u is 20 meter per second, t 3 seconds. G is 10 meter per second square, t 3 seconds. You are asked to find the average speed of the body during the first 3 seconds. The average speed of the body during the first 3 seconds will be equal to distance covered during first 3 seconds divided by time interval. So to find the distance covered in first 3 seconds, you have to know the position of the body at t equal to 3 seconds. Here S gives you the displacement of the body from A to P. Because displacement is the shortest distance between the initial position A and final position P. So distance covered in first 3 seconds is equal to distance from A to B plus distance from B to B. But displacement covered in 3 seconds means it is the shortest distance between the initial position A and final position P at the end of 3 seconds. So that is comes out to be 60 minus 45 meters or 15 meters. So distance from A to P is 15 meters. So maximum height reached above the point of projection, that is the distance from A to B, can be written as equal to u square by 2g. Can substitute u equal to 20 meter per second and g equal to 10 meter per second square. That comes out to be 20 meters. So distance covered in 3 seconds. Distance covered in 3 seconds is equal to distance it moves from A to B in first 2 seconds plus distance through which it falls from B to P and during the third second. So here from here you can write distance from B to P is equal to distance from A to B minus distance of point P from A to P. That will be 20 minus 15 meters or 5 meters. So distance covered in 3 seconds is equal to AB plus BP, that is 20 plus 5 meters or 25 meters. So average speed of the body during 3 seconds after projection equal distance covered in 3 seconds, that is 25 meters divided by time interval. So that will be 25 by 3 meter per second. So answer is 25 by 3 meter per second. If you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So you see the question number, next question number 41. Body is projected vertically upward from the ground. At the highest point, there are 4 statements given. First statement is acceleration is 0 and displacement is maximum. That is wrong because acceleration is constant throughout the motion, equal to the acceleration due to gravity. Displacement is maximum at the highest point, but acceleration is not 0. Acceleration is not 0, but displacement is 0. That is not true. Of course, the acceleration part of statement, acceleration is not 0 is true, but displacement is not 0 at the highest point, it will be maximum. Displacement becomes 0 when it returns to the point of projection. At the highest point, velocity is 0 and displacement is maximum. You can see the third statement. Velocity is 0 and displacement is maximum. This is true. At the highest point, velocity is 0, displacement is maximum. Fourth statement, both velocity and acceleration are 0. That is wrong. Only velocity will be 0, but acceleration is not 0. Acceleration is equal to acceleration due to gravity. So third option is the answer. Come on, look at the next question then. Say the next question, question number 42. Body is projected vertically upward from the ground with air resistance taken into consideration. First question, time of ascent is greater than time of descent. First option, time of ascent is greater than time of descent. Second option, time of ascent less than time of descent. So you have to, now if air resistance is absent, then time of descent will be same as time of ascent as we had discussed earlier. But when there is air resistance, there will be opposing force or retarding force due to air resistance, which acts opposite to the direction of the motion. So during the upward motion, the air resistance acts downwards. That means during the upward motion, both the air resistance and the weight mg act opposite to motion. Left small f denotes the magnitude of air resistance. So retarding force during the upward motion will be mg plus f, and retardation, for this question involves Newton's laws also. So retardation during the upward motion will be retarding force by mass. That will be G plus F by M. So retardation during the upward motion is more than the acceleration due to gravity. During downward motion, during descent, the air resistance acts in the upward direction, again opposing the motion of the body. The weight mg acts in the direction of the motion. Let small f denote the magnitude of air resistance at a particular instant. During the downward motion, net force will be equal to magnitude of the weight mg minus magnitude of the retarding force due to air resistance. That is equal to mass into acceleration. So the acceleration is equal to g minus f by m. So acceleration is less than g. So there is a retardation or magnitude of acceleration during upward motion is greater than g. Therefore, retardation is more means time of ascent. Without retardation, I mean without air resistance, time of ascent will be u by g. But now retardation for upward motion is more than g. Therefore, time of ascent becomes less than u by g. Now the acceleration during the downward motion less than g. So if acceleration is decreased, the time taken to move downwards will be increased. So therefore, the time of descent in the second case will be definitely more than u by g. That means if air resistance is present, then definitely time of descent will be greater than the time of ascent. If you want to copy the working you have written on the board, you can take a pause and copy this working. Of course, it will be easier for you to understand this question if you again go through this question after you have been taught about Newton's laws of motion. In case you are not taught Newton's laws of motion at this up to this moment. Next, I would like to discuss the next question. So the question number 43. Body is thrown vertically upwards with an initial velocity u, reaches a maximum height in 6 seconds. That means time of ascent or u by g can take 6 seconds. Time taken to reach the highest point. The ratio of distances traveled with the body in the first second and seventh second is. So the initial velocity is numerically equal to 6g. Displacement covered by the body during the nth second in the case of motion in a straight line with constant acceleration a, numerically equal to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. So can take a equal to find the displacement covered in the first second. I have to put n equal to 1 here. U is numerically equal to 6g, a equal to minus g, n equal to 1. Get 11g by 2. To find the displacement covered during the 7th second, it reaches the max height after 6 seconds. That means during the 7th second, it will be moving downwards. So 7th second after projection will be the first second during descent. Can put n equal to 7 here. A equal to minus g in this equation. U is numerically equal to 6g here. We got negative sign which indicates that it moves downwards by a distance which is numerically equal to g by 2 during the 7th second. But when you are asked to find the ratio of distances covered, Therefore, you can take the positive signs. Ratio of the distances covered during the first second and seventh second will be 11 g by 2 is to g by 2. That will be 11 is to 1 is the answer. If you want to copy the solution, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. If you want to copy the solution, you can take a pause and copy the solution. See the question number 44. Ball is projected vertically upwards with a velocity of 24.5 meter per second from the bottom of a tower. The boy who is standing at the top of the tower is unable to catch the ball when it passes him in the upward direction. But the ball again reaches after 3 seconds when it is falling and then he catches it. What is the height of the tower? G equal 9.8 meter per second square. Let us suppose it is projected from the bottom of the tower from the point O. The initial velocity at the point of projection O is U 24.5 meter per second. Let A be the position of the ball when it reaches the top of the tower. And let H be the height of the tower here. So the boy does not catch the ball when it passes through the point A in the upward direction. But according to the problem, the ball again comes back to the same starting point after 3 seconds. Let B be the highest point at which velocity becomes 0. That means the time of motion from A to B and then back to A is 3 seconds. The boy catches the ball at the position A when it returns to the point A after 3 seconds. So time taken to return to the point A from A is 3 seconds. So time of motion from A to B and back to A is 3 seconds. Or time of flight for motion above the point A is 3 seconds. Suppose V1 is the velocity at A. Then time of motion or time of flight for motion above the point A, you can write it as 2V1 by G. Using the formula 2U by G. Time of motion from O to B and back to O will be 2U by G. The same way, time of motion from A to B and back to A will be 2V1 by G, which is equal to 3 seconds. So velocity V1 at the top of the tower is equal to 3 seconds into G by 2. We can express everything in terms of G numerically. Then we can substitute the value of numerical value of G in the last step. Then for upward motion from O to A, the initial velocity at A O equal to, which is denoted by U, that is 24.5 meter per second. The final velocity at A equal to 3 seconds into G by 2, that is 3 into 9.8 by 2 meter per second. That comes out to 14.7 meter per second. The acceleration is equal to minus G, that is minus 9.8 meter per second square. Displacement is equal to the height of the tower, which you have to find. The acceleration is directed downwards, that's why we have given negative sign for acceleration, where our velocities are directed upwards, we have given positive sign for velocities. So use the formula V square 1 square equal to AS or VF square minus VI square equal to AS. Substitute the values then. VF equal to 14.7 meter per second. VI equal to 24.5 meter per second. The acceleration A equal to minus 9.8. S equal to H meters. Let us suppose that the height of the tower is h meters. You have to solve this equation. So you can write h equal to 24.5 whole square minus 14.7 whole square by 2 into 9.8. You may feel sometimes tedious. You need not find the perfect squares of all the factors. You can divide all the terms with 9.8 separately. Then calculation will be easier for you. You can take 4.9, 24.5, you can write 4.9 into 5. This you can write 4.9 into 3. You can take 4.9 common. This you can write 4.9 square into 5 square minus 3 square by 2 in 9.8. So you can try to simplify it to yourself. If you want to copy the solution, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. You are supposed to get the answer as 19.6 meters. Look at the question number 45. A boy has projected a body vertically up with a velocity of 50 meters per second. For 2 seconds, he projected another body with a velocity of 100 meters per second. When do they meet? After projection of the first body. Let us suppose each body is projected from the point A. That means A is the point of projection. Let B be the highest point reached by the first body. Let P be the point at which the two bodies collide with each other. Let us suppose they collide at the point P after T seconds after projection of the first body. That means the first body reaches the point P after T seconds, whereas second body will be moving from A to P in T minus 2 seconds. Both the bodies will be at the point P at the instant of collision. Both the bodies will be at the same position P at the instant of collision. That means at the instant of collision, the displacement is same for both the bodies. Because A is the initial position, which is same for both the bodies. And P the final position at the instant of collision, that is also same for both the bodies at the instant of collision. So using the equation S equal to T plus half AT square, can write A equal to minus G here. For the first body, the initial velocity U is equal to 50 meters per second at the point P. You can write S equal to 50 into T seconds minus half GT square. Second body reaches the point P in T minus 2 seconds. Because second body started moving upwards after 2 seconds. That means time of motion of the second body up to the instant of collision with the first body will be less than the time of motion of the first body by 2 seconds. That means second body moves from A to P, T minus 2 seconds. So for second body, the initial velocity U is equal to 100 meters per second. Time of motion is T minus 2. Accelerate A equal to minus G. But at the instant of collision, the displacement is same for both the bodies. So equate the value of S at the instant of collision. So equating the value of S here. Equate the value of s here from first and second equations. 50 into t minus half gt square equal to 100 into t minus 2 means you can write 100 t minus 100 into 2 minus half g into t minus 2 whole square. You can write t square plus 4 minus 4t. This has to be simplified. Solve for time t. You can take the terms containing t to the right hand side. Those who want to copy the solution of the problem, they can start writing now, because rest of the solution is only the simplification. So minus half gt square gets cancelled on both the sides. So you can carry all the terms to one side of the equation, otherwise 0 equal to, you have 100t minus 200 minus half g into 4. G you can take given as 10 meter per second square. Substitute g as 10 here. This will be 20. Again here 2g you will get. That means 20 into t. Take that 50t to the right side. Minus 50t. So 100t plus 20t. 120t plus minus 50t. That is 70t is equal to, you will get 220 equal to 70t. So you get t equal to 22, 220 by 70. So answer will be 22 by 7 seconds, which is given in one of the options. In the same question I have shown you in the previous class. That means the two bodies meet each other after 22 by 7 seconds after projection of the first body. Those who want to take more time to copy the solution of the problem, they can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. See the next question. Question number 46. Body is dropped from a height of 156.8 meters, and at the same time another body is projected vertically upwards. If they meet at a height of 78.40 meters, find the initial of the second body. The first body is, let us suppose, dropped from the point A, which is at a height of h equal to 156.8 meters. The second body is projected vertically upwards from the point B with some initial loss to u. Whereas initial loss of the first body is 0 at the point A. The two bodies meet at the point P, which is at a height of 78.4 meters. Let S1 denote the distance covered by the first body up to the instant of collision. S2 is the distance covered by second body up to the instant of collision. So S1 can be written as, because the first body is allowed to fall freely under gravity, you can write the distance covered by freely falling body in time t as half gt square. The second body is projected vertically upwards, so height of the second body above the point of projection. At time t of projection, you can write ut minus half gt square. So if you add these two equations, S1 plus S2, you get half gt square plus ut minus half gt square. Half gt square gets cancelled. S1 plus S2 is equal to initial height of the first body, denoted by h in the figure. So time after which the two bodies collide with each other is h by u. Or initial of the second body can write h by t. So to find u, you have to find the value of t. You can observe from the figure S1 plus S2 equal to h, that is 156.8 meters. S2 is the distance covered by the second body up to the instant of collision. So it's given that the two bodies meet each other at a height of 78.4 meters. That means second body travels 78.4 meters before collision. And h is given to be 156.8 meters. So we can substitute these values and find S1. Therefore, S1 equal to h minus S2. 156.8 minus 78.4. That will be again 78.4 meters. Can substitute this value of S1 in the first equation to find the time after which they collide with each other. So from first equation, 78.4 meter equal to half g is 9.8 meter per second square into t square. So you get t equal to 4 seconds if you simplify this. 9.8 can be cancelled 8 times in 78.4. Better you prepare a multiplication table for 9.8 so that you can solve the problems faster in kinematics, in vertical projection and falling bodies. 9.8, 2 are 19.6, like that. 9.8, 3 are 29.4. Like that, 9.8 can be cancelled 8 times in 78.4. You get t square equal to 16 seconds square, or t equal to 4 seconds. You can substitute this value of t here on the right hand side to find the initial velocity of the second body. So initial velocity of the second body is equal to h by t. H equal to 156.8 meters, t is 4 seconds. So if you simplify this, you get the answer. If you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. That answer comes out to be how much here? 39.2 meters per second. This question number 47. Look at the question number 47. The body is projected vertically up with a velocity of 21 meters per second. The time interval for which that body is above 16 meters from the ground is, you have to take g as 10 meters per second square. This problem can be solved by two methods. I will discuss both the methods. Whichever method you feel more convenient, you can follow that. Let A be the point of projection from where the body is projected vertically upward with initial velocity of 21 meters per second. Let B be the highest point reached at which the velocity of the body becomes 0. Let P be the point. Let P be the position of the body at the instant when it is at a height of 16 meters above the point of projection. That means P is the position of the body at which it has a displacement of 16 meters measured from the initial position. The body passes through the point P at 2 instants of time. The body passes through the point P for the first time during the upward motion. The body again passes through the point P, second time, during the downward motion. The difference between the two instants of time gives you the time for which the body is above this point P, or above 16 meters. If you use the equation S equal to can write S equal to ut minus half gt square. That means you have taken a equal to minus g. So we want to find the two instants of time at which the body is at height of 16 meters above the point of projection. Take S equal to 16 meters. In each velocity 21 meter per second, and g is 10 meter per second square. So you can write it as 5t square minus 21t plus 16 equal to 0. So you can solve this problem by factorization. Minus 21t, you can write minus 5t minus 16t. So those who want to copy the solution, they can start writing the solution, because from here onwards we'll be just doing the mathematical simplification. You can take 5t common minus in the first two terms, minus 16 common in the last two terms. So you get two values of t. One value is t is equal to 1 second, another value, that means if you take 5t minus 6 equal to 0, you get t equal to 16 by 5 seconds, or 3.2 seconds. So the body will be found at the point P first time at t equal to 1 second after projection. The body is again found at the same point P at the later instant at t equal to 3.2 seconds after projection. That means this 1 second is the time of motion from A to P. The 3.2 seconds is the time of motion from A to B and back to P. This time of motion from A to B and back to P, you can write time of motion from A to P plus time taken to move from P to B and back to P. So this is 3.2 seconds. Left hand side is equal to 3.2 seconds. Time taken from A to P is 1 second. The body is found at the point P at a later instant at t equal 3.2 seconds after projection. That means 3.2 seconds after projection, it is moving through the point P in the downward direction. That means in 3.2 seconds, it moves from A to B and then back from B to P. So from this, you can find the time taken to move from the point P to the highest point B and back to P. That will be 3.2 minus 1, or 2.2 seconds. That means the body will be moving above the point P for an interval of 2.2 seconds. Or you can say that the height of the body above the point of projection will be more than 16 meters for a time interval of 2.2 seconds. So answer for the question is 2.2 seconds. In case you need some time to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So the body is projected vertically upwards from the point A. B is the highest point at which velocity becomes 0. P is the position of the body at the instant when it is at a height of 16 meters above the point of projection. Let V1 be the velocity at P. So you can find the time of motion above the point P if you know the velocity V1 at the point P. So if you use the equation, V square 1 square equal to 2as for upward motion from A to P. The initial velocity at A is 21 meter per second, which is directed vertical upwards. The final velocity V at P is V1, which is also directed vertical upwards. Displacement is equal to minus g or minus 10 meter per second square. Because the acceleration is directed vertically downwards, we can take a equal to minus g or minus 10 meter per second square. So we get here v1 square minus 21 meter per second whole square equal to 2. A is minus g, that is minus 10 meter per second square, and displacement is equal to 16 meters. You can solve for v1 square here. If you solve for v1 here, simplify. And find v1 from this. Then time of motion above the point P. That means time of flight for motion above P, which means the time taken to move from P to B and back to P. That is given by 2v1 by g. So using the formula for time of flight above the point of projection is 2u by g. So in the same way, time of flight for motion above the point P is 2v1 by g. That means instead of initial velocity u, we are taking v1 to find the total time of motion above the point P. That means the body will be above the point P, means the height of the body will be more than 16 meters. For this time interval equal to 2v1 by g. Calculate the value of v1 in this step. Substitute here and take g is 10 meter per second square. You get the same answer which I given in the previous method. If you want to copy this alternate method, also can take a pause and copy the alternate method.